Thank you very much, Cian Corla, and I'll be sharing my time 5 minutes each with Deputy Cahill and Deputy Moynihan as well. I welcome this opportunity here in the Dáil today, and I think it's important that we have it in relation to addressing the need for additional support for the agricultural sector, because unfortunately, Minister, the response so far has not recognised the pressure that agriculture and farmers are under, and particularly in relation to the pressure that has been experienced so far in the beef sector. I think the response at European level and Commission level, Minister, has been totally insufficient. There is significant market disturbance in place. Farmers are losing money, particularly beef farmers and finishing at the moment, where finishers are losing up to €200 to €250 per head. Minister, there needs to be a real and immediate response to help address that. I want to address a couple of other issues as well, Minister, which I would ask you to come back in within the 5 minutes which I have allocated. And those are, you touched on it earlier, the issue of the marts. I understand that there has been additional standard operating procedures submitted to your department in recent days that would allow the auction aspect of marts to continue while significantly restricting any access to the mart and restricting it specifically to buyers, which might would facilitate additional competition in relation to what has been going on, and marts have been doing their best at over the last period of time. And I think, Minister, they make sense, and I would ask for what you're doing to further those and for a prompt answer as well. In relation to the processing sector, Minister, there is significant challenges potentially, and we have seen some challenges in recent days and recent weeks in relation to the management of COVID within the processing sector. There is a real risk there of any potential clusters in that regard. I would ask for an update from you, Minister, with regard to any clusters the Department are aware of and what steps the Department is taking to ensure that the processing sector is supported, because we, first of all, the health and safety of staff is paramount, and secondly, they're carrying out essential work to the food supply chain, and also to ensuring that the throughput of stock and product over the weeks and period ahead as well. With relation to the marine sector, Minister, there have been a proposal for a temporary cessation package. I ask for an update today with regard to what the government are doing to support our fishing sector. And also, finally, an issue which has crossover between your own department and the Department of Social Protection, and that is the issue of Farm Assist. And indeed the COVID payment being made available to farmers. Although it is directly responsibility for the Minister for Social Protection, Minister, it is something which is affecting farmers across the country. Can you give an update here today in relation to the application of COVID, the eligibility of farmers for the COVID payment, and also in relation to Farm Assist being topped up to the minimum level of the COVID payment as well? Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. About a minute and a half for a response.
Thank you. I'll do my best. On the beef issue, I do accept that this is the sector that has taken the immediate visible hit in terms of COVID, and it has obviously consequences arising from the closure of food service, not just domestically, but more significantly in terms of the volume of food service restaurants and hotels globally and within the European Union. We have been insisting that the Commission is reminded of the common aspect of the common agricultural policy. We've seen in recent days comments by the NFU about UK retailers stocking Irish beef. We have seen trends for renationalisation of markets elsewhere. We would be the biggest losers within the European Union if that were to happen, and particularly our beef sector. So it is critical that we maintain that approach across the European Union. That's why we've led an initiative at European Union level. Up to that point, the response had been, we'll relax state aid rules and fix it yourself. And that's certainly something I was not happy with, and there is now some movement. We need to see more, particularly under exceptional aid measures for the beef sector, and we continue to engage in that regard. I'd be cautious about raising expectations regarding a further unwinding of regulations regarding livestock marts. We engage obviously all the time. I think over 70 of the over 80 marts have submitted SOPs that have been approved. But we continue to engage, but we will be guided by the public health advice in respect of these matters. the revised arrangements are working reasonably well, but you know, without reference to an auction system. I appreciate that there is a difficulty in valuations, but we are.
To anything you don't get to cover, Deputy.